talk about the first piece of this topic, social media strategies to attract your ideal client. So first of all, what strategy is going to work in your business? We're going to go through 6 factors. So we invite you to reflect on them and maybe make a couple of notes where you are now about your own business as we share with you questions to ask yourself, analysis for you to think about. So the first of these 6 factors is, who is your audience? Why is that so important? Well, if you're trying to attract something, you want to know what it is you're trying to attract. So who is your audience? And really, our webinar today builds on the webinar that we had last month. Last month's webinar was on how strategic marketing grows your business faster. And so it was in that webinar that we talked about, and we took a deeper dive into who your audience is, who's your ideal client. And we talked about things such as, is geography important? Is the type of client, the size, how long they've been in business? Is the customer's personality important? What are their needs, their wants that you can solve? What are their challenges, their problems and pain points that your business really can address? And so we took a deeper dive into how you can clearly describe and have down in writing somewhere your ideal client profile, that avatar of who you're trying to attract in your business. So if you haven't seen last month's webinar, please look at it. It's an excellent foundation for determining who your audience is. The second key factor to consider when it comes to the strategy that your business will use is, now that you know who your ideal client is, what social media platform are they spending their time on? You know, before social media was so prevalent, perhaps you would send printed material. So you need to make sure you had the right address to send your literature to business owners. Maybe you got involved in making some cold calls to prospects in your neighborhood. So you need to make sure you had the right phone numbers. Then radio became popular. And so if you're thinking of advertising or using radio to reach your audience, you'd need to know, well, what radio station are they listening to? Are they listening to easy rock, easy listening, classical music? Are they listening to all news radio? It would be important, wouldn't it, for you to know what are the likely radio stations that your ideal clients are on, so that when you did have an ad, they would be listening. So it's similar with your social media. What social media channels or platforms are your ideal clients on? Are they on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and the list goes on? Do you want to tackle all of them without knowing? Wouldn't it be more effective to know which ones are the most likely platforms your ideal clients are already on, so that when you do a social media post, they see it because they're on the platform that you're using. So that's important. And there's different ways for you to find out what platform they're on. You can speak to your existing clients that are the type of clients you're wanting to attract. And you can ask them, what social media platforms do you find useful? Do you find helpful in your business? Perhaps that's giving you a hint to what social media platform to get involved in. Or maybe there's a trade association that your ideal client belongs to. You can find out what association social media platform is being used. What social media platform is that association using to reach who you feel are your ideal clients. That can give you a hint as to what social media platforms to get involved in. So these are things for you to consider when you're thinking of your strategy. Then you want to think about the time that's going to be involved. Each social media platform is different, may have more sophistication, more complicated or more detailed processes involved in doing the posting. Things for you to think about so that when you post, it will be an effective post. So it's important to think about the time that's going to be used, the time that you're going to invest. So will you post monthly? Will you post weekly? Will you post daily? How much staff resources can you dedicate to that activity? Are you the only person in your business? And how will you carve out time for that? If you're going to assign a staff person in your business to do it, do they have the skills and the knowledge to do it effectively? And it's important to think about the amount of effort you're going to put into your social media strategy and what you're hoping that social media strategy will achieve. That's important. So we've talked about who your audience is, what social media platform they're likely on, the time that's going to be involved. You need to think about that. There'll be a time investment involved. How much time should you invest? Who on your team is going to fulfill that role? Is it going to be yourself? Is it going to be another team member? Is it going to be a third party? These are all options, and we'll share what we think are the best options throughout our webinar today. And then how many platforms are you going to use? Are you going to start with one? Are you going to try to tackle all of them? What might be the course of wisdom if this is something new that your business is entertaining? So these are all factors that you as a business owner should be reflecting on, contemplating, so that you can have a social media strategy that will be effective for your business, for your ideal client profile. So those are an overview of 6 important factors